Shepherd School, and I'd like to introduce William Tell into the world. Today's Friday. He was born on Monday, the 23rd, and I took the camera into the delivery room, and really wanted to do this on Monday, and the day he was born, to go with the article on the website talking about him and how proud I am of him. You know how perfect he is, but you know everybody came and looked at us and didn't give us any time. But you know, here's old William. We named him William Tell after the archer, William Tell, from the Swiss Federation. And we named him that because we wanted him to have a sense of purpose, a sense of duty, to have a calling. And I don't know what his calling is going to be. I don't know what he's going to do for a living. But, you know, William Tell that he's named after, he's the guy that shot the arrow off his son's head, or the apple off his son's head. And the story goes that Gessler, who was a tyrant, wanted everybody to bow down to him. And so he took his hat and put his hat in the court square and decreed that anyone that passes by his hat has to bow to his hat. And well, you know, that's kind of idolatry from the religious viewpoint, but it's also just plain stupid, right? And so William Tell and his son were coming into town from, you know, being out in the woods and working, and he walked by the hat, and one of Gessler's men saw him and, you know, arrested him basically. And about that time, the tyrant showed up, and when the guard told him what happened, you know, he said, "I've heard of you, William Tell. You're that prideful guy, and we're gonna solve your sin of pride." And so what he did is he made him show how good he was with archery by putting the apple on his son's head. And of course, being a good marksman, he was able to shoot the arrow off his son's head. But Gessler was a little confused because William Tell took out 2 arrows, you know, out of his quiver. Hey. And he said, "You know, why'd you get 2 arrows? You know, if you'd have missed, there wouldn't have been a second chance." And he said, William Tell said, "The second arrow is not for the apple. The second arrow was in case I'd missed and killed my son. The next one would have been to you." And of course, the tyrant didn't like that very much, so he arrested William Tell and put him in a boat to take him to the dungeon, you know, for him to live out his life in the dungeon. Well, a big storm came up, and the guards were too scared to row the boat, to pilot the boat. And they knew William Tell, and they knew how competent he was, how good he was. And so they begged him to steer the boat. And he's like, "Why would I want to steer the boat to the dungeon, you know?" But he took over, and he basically wrecked the boat on a rock and got free. Ran and got his bow and assassinated Gessler as Gessler was trying to get to the castle. And that sparked a revolution. That sparked a revolution that created the Swiss Federation. And here's William, right? And I don't want him to start a revolution, right? But I do want him to be confident. I do want him to be proud. I do want him to be skillful. You know, and I look at him and I don't know what he's going to want to do for a living. And, you know, don't really care. I mean, it's his life. You know, I don't wish him to have more stuff than I had growing up or anything. But I do wish him to enter the world more prepared than I was. You know, to know more things. Oh, he knows how to cry. Yeah, I want him to know more things. I want him to be, you know, friendlier and more sociable, smarter, stronger, you know. All those things that I wish I was, that I work every day to be better at. You know, I want him to have all that. And if he is, if he is, then I'm sure he'll be better and richer and more successful than me. But more importantly, I think he'll be happier. Not that I'm not happy, because I'm a pig in a blanket over here. I'm about as proud as I could be. So anyway, you'll see more of William as soon as we figure out how to keep him from crying. So anyway, until next time, you can always catch us online, www.tngun.com.